joining me at Re-Written Vintage Rescue. And today Marshall and I wanted to talk to you guys about this famous weed, the dandelion. But did you know it's not actually a weed, it's an herb. And it's used for so many things, from salves to medicine to food. And the amazing thing about the dandelion is every inch of it can be used. And it has been, especially years and years ago. But let's talk about it just a minute. So the roots down here can be used for coffee. And so you would take those and chop them up into like bite-sized pieces. You can put them in a dehydrator, or you can let them dry for several weeks. Then you just grind them up as you would coffee and make coffee out of them. That's the way they used to do it in the old Wild West. The leaves are a tremendous source of vitamins A, C, and K. You can eat those raw, or you can cook them, put them in salads. Now, dandelion leaves are typically the best in the early spring or in the early fall. If you wait too long within a season, they get bitter. Okay? The little cottony part of it before it comes to bloom, I had all kinds of little sparrows and goldfinches outside pulling those out and eating those. So not only are they good for you, they're also good for nature too. The yellow part here, you can put that in salads. You can make tea out of it, which is what we're going to do. And did you know that dandelion tea is a wonderful medicine for many different things? Now, there's been some studies done that shows it helps to reduce high blood pressure. It's a natural diuretic, so you want to be careful if you have thin blood or other health issues. You might want to check with your doctor first. But basically, it makes you pee. Okay, so it can get rid of a lot of water and toxin waste that you have in your body. The herb name for it is actually called tiger tooth because of the shape of the leaves. I think that's just an interesting little tidbit, don't you, Marshall? Yeah. So, you know, you might want to think about the dandelion herb next time before you go spraying all over your yard. It's not only good for you, it's also good for nature and our ecosystem. So we're going to give this a try, our dandelion tea. So I've washed my dandelions really, really well in cold water and let them strain to get all the dirt, bacteria, anything that might be on there. So I'm going to make myself some nice dandelion tea to go with my pretty floral cookies tonight. It's a nice thing to do for myself on this rainy evening. So what I'm going to do is I have, for every cup of water, I'm going to have the same amount in dandelions. So it's just me tonight, so I'm going to have a cup of water and a cup of dandelions. I'm going to bring that to a boil. We'll strain it together, and I'll show you what it looks like. I have just started to become very, very interested in foraging, which is basically seeing what you can find for food in your own environment, where you are. And if you think about it, the pioneers, the cowboys, the people who first came to our country, the pilgrims, the Native Americans, they all had to forage for food. They couldn't go to a store like you and I did. And then also, too, there are such wonderful vitamins and minerals in the foods that we forage. And so I've been trying to learn as much as I can about them and try them in different ways. One of the fun things that I learned how to do is make cookies using flowers that I have out in my garden. And it's been difficult. I've tried many different recipes, but I'm going to show you the easiest one I've come up with so far. You can use any kind of pansy, any kind of violet, Johnny Jump Ups, little violas, anything that'll lay nice and flat quickly, you can use. And there are literally hundreds of edible flowers and plants in your yard. You just need to learn about them. So let me show you how I do this. So I pick some really pretty flowers out in my yard. I have purchased this little strainer that I just set it in, and I rinse those out real good. You want to make sure you wash them real well so that you get all the dirt and bugs out of them. Then I'm just going to lightly take a paper towel and just dab them dry. Okay. This recipe isn't anything that needs to be real complicated. And then I'm just going to take my scissors here and lightly cut off the little green here so that it won't pop off of the cookie. Okay. Here we go. And you may have to arrange your petals just a little bit, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to take the flowers and put them between wax paper. Here we go. That one came out. Here we go. Face down. Like this. You want to make sure you choose your plants from an area that's not been sprayed with pesticides or been peed on by your pets. Try to find a nice clean area and then wash them up nicely. Now I'm just going to take this wax paper and fold it over like this. I'm going to find a fairly heavy book and set it on top. And I'm just going to let that sit there like that while I make my cookies. Okay? So I've tried all kinds of shortbread cookie recipes. They really kind of lack in taste or won't hold the flour down the way that I like it until I found this. And so you can either get this in sugar cookie or you can get it in lemon. I thought for spring and summer, isn't lemon fun? This is just the Betty Crocker lemon cookie recipe. You know what? 89 cents at the dollar store. So sometimes getting a mix is a lot less expensive than pulling out all of the ingredients. Now, the last recipe I tried ended up having 1.5 cups of powdered sugar and then 1/2 cup of regular sugar, 2 cups of flour. So it had a lot of store-bought ingredients. So by the time I just spent 89 cents on this, I'm good to go. So what you do is you just empty the contents of the package in your bowl here. You're going to add 3 tablespoons of flour. So let's just go ahead and get that mixed. You're going to preheat your oven to 375, which I'm doing right now. You're going to add 1 beaten egg. And I tell you, it's so fun to learn what all you can do with nature's goodness, you know? It's just, it makes you feel healthier. It makes you feel like things aren't going to waste. It makes you connect with your ancestors. And all that's so valuable to me. And then I'm going to add 1 stick of melted butter. What I like about this recipe too is you don't have to refrigerate it for any length of time. So it's fairly quick. There we go. And I'm just going to mix this, mix it. until it forms a nice little dough for me. Now you can either make a drop cookie with this mix. If you want to do that, then you have to let your butter set at room temperature until it's warm. They prefer you not melt it. But I'm going to do a rolled cookie so that I have a nice, pretty flat surface for my flowers. And so they recommend that you melt your butter. Okay, like I told you guys all before, I'm an old hillbilly when it comes to cooking. So of course I'm going to use my hands like this to get it the rest of the way. Boy, I tell you, that's too easy. Then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on my surface here, just so it doesn't stick. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. Roll it in the flour here a little bit. These cookies would just be cute as could be for like a baby shower or a wedding shower. Mother's Day. Hey, Mother's Day's coming up. These would be really pretty. So I'm going to roll this about a quarter inch thick. I like my cookies really thick, but I think they say to only do it like a quarter of an inch thick. I'm using an old biscuit cutter. Whatever you guys want to use to cut these, have at it. Any kind of special shapes that you like. And I'm just going to trim around it. Go. Lift those up. And you want to leave a little space between them on the cookie sheet. Because they are going to spread a little bit. Yeah, you get quite a few out of this too. Now see, while I'm doing this, my flowers are getting nice and flat under the old book for me. Go a little more. Hope you guys are having a nice evening. We're expecting storms tonight, which I don't mind. I've got my garden all out. I'm so excited. So I could use the rain, that's for sure. Okay, so I'll just show you here. I got 6 nice little cookies. I'm going to put them in the oven. Our directions say to bake them for 5 to 7 minutes and then cool 2 minutes. But we're not going to quite cool for 2 minutes because we want to press those flowers in while they're warm, okay? So let me pop these in the oven and then we'll see what they look like when they come out. So the cookies are out of the oven and you guys, they smell delicious. I let them bake actually a minute longer than the recipe said because I know oven temperatures vary. And I like mine just a little crispy and brown on the outside. And prior to that, they were still just an even color. So I wanted them to be a little crispier, so I left them in there just a little longer. Now, after you take those out, our flowers are nice and flat here. Isn't that beautiful? Now, you can either put your flour on. I'm going to do it this way so it's facing you guys. And you want to do this while it's warm, okay? You're just going to press it into the cookie dough before the cookie is all the way cool. Okay? Isn't that beautiful? Now, you don't have to leave your flour completely intact. You can do some different things if you would like. Some different patterns, something different. You can make patterns, or you can make faces, or you can just, use your creativity. I like doing a little of both. I tell you, these pansies are just gorgeous. But like I said, if you don't have pansies, there's 100 different kinds of flowers that you can eat. So just do a quick search, find out what those are. Make sure you get them from an area that's not been sprayed with pesticides or been touched by animals. See, those stick in there very nicely. And they're so pretty. That's all there is to it. Now I'm also going to sprinkle some beautiful sugar on the top while everything is still warm. And then when these cool in about 3 minutes, I'm going to take them off the pan and let them harden the rest of the way. But I'm hoping I can lift this one up for you so you can see it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful for Mother's Day? I already gave my mom some. She had the last batch and she thought they were delicious. She'd never eaten a flower before, but hey, I think she's all in now. So I hope you guys will give this a try. It's fun, it's easy, it's something the kids would love to do too. So after you boil your dandelions, you can let it steep for however long you like. The longer it steeps, the stronger it gets. And you know that dandelions are already bitter. So you might not want to let it steep too long. Then you just put it through a colander, strain it, and this is what it looks like. Now, I can see it looks pretty brown on the video. It's actually like a light yellow. And I did taste it without anything added. First of all, I smelled it because while it was cooking, I thought, what is that smell? I mean, it's so familiar. It doesn't smell like dandelions. And then, in my opinion, it smells like potatoes. So I guess that has to do with the fact that it's a root plant, right? So I strained it, and I found myself that I like it with a little bit of honey. So we'll add that to my cup here. You guys, if you're going to go to this much trouble treating yourself to something healthy and beautiful from nature, get yourself a pretty cup to drink out of too. You deserve it. So I'm just adding a little bit of raw honey to mine as a sweetener. Let's give it a go. You guys, it almost tastes like coffee. It does. This tastes like a cup of coffee more than it does tea, in my opinion. But it's really good. It's really good. You know what? If you run out of coffee and you're on a really strict budget, go out in the backyard and get your dandelions. It tastes just like coffee. Yeah, I don't even see the need for cooking the roots like I've read, because just the flowers themselves taste like coffee. It's really good. I like it. I want you guys to give it a try too. I would recommend you don't do it at night like I'm doing, because I'll probably be up all night peeing. But you look at that. I mean, I feel like I should be in England. These are really good. And I did bake mine to where it was a little crunchier, not so soft. And you know, the flour adds just a pretty touch, but it's also sweet. Got a little bit of sweetness to it. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. You know, we're learning something new every day, aren't we? Oh, I want to show you something else I learned. Another way to recycle banana peels is when you peel your bananas, put them in a jar, cover them with water, and let them sit a couple days. Now, the reasoning behind this is, as we know, bananas are high in potassium and calcium, right? Humans need potassium and calcium to build strong bones. So there's a lot of horticulturists that say doing something like this and watering your plants with this water builds up the stems, the leaves, and the buds of your plants. Makes them stronger so that they harden and they can withstand the elements better. So you might want to try it on your inside plants. It's supposed to also help with bugs. So it's a natural pesticide. I'm going to give it a go. You know what? When I'm done with the peels, they're going to go in my compost. So I absolutely save every part of my banana too. It just makes you feel good. So you guys try this too and let me know what you think. Just another way to recycle those banana peels and come back and see me sometime, because when you come and see me here at Re-Ritten Vintage Rescue, we'll have sweet floral cookies and dandelion tea. Thanks for joining me, you guys. I hope you have a great week and try something new. I wanted to show you guys too another reason why I think the dandelion is so beautiful here on my dirty pant leg. But dandelion is one of the few plants that actually blooms twice. So it starts off, I hope you can see, as this little seed here that blows in the wind, birds carry it. That's how it gets to its destination. Then it grows from the seed. If I couldn't find an example, but it would grow into a tight bud here with the yellow on top. So it's closed like this. Then it opens into the dandelion that you see out in the yard, like this. However, when it's spent, it will close back up like this, back up tight, and transform itself, just like a caterpillar, into the fluffiness of the seed. Then it reopens, and that's when you see this. That's kind of neat, isn't it? When I was little, I used to take these and spray paint them, and they would be really pretty. A pretty addition to a flower bouquet too. But just remember that, you know, sometimes it helps to look at things in different ways, and that includes some of the things in our earth that you think are actually ugly. They're really beautiful.